Hello, guys and gals. Me, Muda, and I'm not a huge fan of the Funko Pops. I got the Funko Pop conspiracy to talk about today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this might be a creepypasta. This is the Project MK Ultra of the gaming world. Now, to understand, okay, I want to start this off with some positivity. Okay, I know that me making fun of Funko Pops might anger somebody, might make somebody a little pissed. And if you're going to get genuinely heated on a jokey video that I'm making, I'm going to tell you to deep tighten the butthole a little bit, okay? All right, you might need to put one finger here, one finger there, a little goatsy, just to deep tighten it, okay? I like making jokes, and to be honest, my channel, I'm pretty equal opportunity to everything out there, okay? I talk a lot of smack about dumb things. You know, if you wanted me to joke on something, Halo the television show, okay? I've never seen so much Master Chief bare ass in any Halo-related media than Paramount Plus. That $10 million per episode is going real well. Bang up job. Now, when it comes to Funko Pops, they've been sort of a weird, sort of cringe reputation, if you will. You know, a lot of people laugh at them, but in all honesty, they're just harmless collectibles, okay? Now, the brunt of this video came from this little post that I saw over here, right? Where somebody said, "What's the difference?" Now, over here on the left, you start to see a bunch of Funky Pops in the back. There's a lot of Funky Pops that have been bought over here. Now, I genuinely never understood the appeal of Funky Pops. To be honest with you, they're all soulless, beadless eyes staring at you. Every single one of them look goddamn unique. But it's got somebody really proud of this collection, okay? What you're seeing here is potentially hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in Funky Pops. I'm pretty sure there's some actual goddamn rare ones out here. I think I might even see some Teletubby Funky Pops out there. And I know those ones are kind of rare. Now, of course, this is compared to these Gundam plastic models. Now, to understand, these Gundam plastic models, Gunplas, or a little portmanteau for short, is actually these are actually handcrafted, okay? Meaning somebody bought them Gundams, and Gundams are based, by the way. Gundams are awesome. They grab these pieces, put them together, and, you know, there's a lot of soul put into this, okay? This is like a big, expensive Gundam kit collection. Now, to understand, building Gundams ain't exactly easy, okay? If you actually look at what a Gundam set costs, they're like super hype Lego pieces, okay? Meaning that, like, you know when you buy those big, expensive kits that take you, like, hours, if not days to complete? This is what you're getting into. This is a Gundam backlog, okay? Now, to understand, all right, when I look at Funko Pops, I kind of look at them as, like, weird collectibles, you know what I mean? None of them are really cool. I tried one time looking into the value of Funko Pops, and I went onto their actual store, and I was wholly disappointed, okay? For one, the only cool thing they have is Pokemons, but even when it comes to Pokemons, all these soulless creatures look the goddamn same. Now, I tried going on to Funko Pops, and I tried finding things like Rainbow Six Siege. Dun, dun, dun. Didn't get any answer to that. Didn't get anything. A lot of them are just DC Marvel figurettes. You know, the standard comic book stuff. I even tried jumping into the magical world of American Dad, and I did not find anything, all right, for Stan Smith. How can you not create Stan Smith as a Funko Pop? That might have been the only one that I would have bought. Now, to be honest with you, these things are like $10, $12 a piece. And there's a bit of positivity in the Funko Pop world. It's a lot better than buying fucking NFTs, okay? I would rather buy all these Funky Pops than buy, a monkey JPEG, all right, for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, on a collectible level, these aren't too bad. But to be real with you, my real frustration stems from the Funko conspiracy. Have you ever walked into a GameStop recently? All right, I'm a huge fan of physical gaming media. I still buy my games on discs, okay? And I know y'all are going to be like, "Oh, Muda, you're just an old man buying games on a CD. Who does that? Why don't you download them like a normal person?" Because I like owning my games. I get the stupid, anger-driven conspiracy like, "Oh, the game disc doesn't actually come with the game." Yes, it does, jackass. Most of them come with the 1.0 version. You don't need the internet. That's why I buy the disc. Internet goes down, the game is still mine. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna make a whole video on that one day just to really dispel the rumor. But to be real with you, all right, I still go to stores and buy them. Now, if you've ever been to a GameStop, what's really wild is I've never actually seen somebody buy a Funko Pop. Now, even amongst my friends, a lot of them who are D&D board game playing types do not buy Funko Pops. A lot of them will work on die-cast cars and like all these like crazy model figures, but I've never actually seen anybody own a Funko Pop. I'm sure there's people out there, okay? I'm sure that it's 10 billion people almost live on this planet? I'm sure somebody out there is a Funko madman. Or mad woman. To be real with you, I've seen no one buy a Funko Pop when I go in. But at GameStops, have you ever noticed how, like, the game shelf is shrinking? There used to be, like, 2 or 3 shelves for the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Nintendo, the Amiibos, the pre-owned section, and slowly that's shrinking. But no, not if you look at the whole wall at a GameStop. All of them are Funkos. At this point, there are GameStop with entire walls dedicated to Funko Pops, which really leads me to believe either the Funko Inc. Corporation has bought out chunks of GameStop. Maybe that might be a hidden backdoor deal or something. But even when it comes to brick and mortar stores where I go to pick up PlayStation 1, some Super Nintendo titles, just to play on the real physical hardware that I have, you know, the little physical consoles, the Evercades, still, the Funko Pop stuff is coming. It's kind of like a cancer, you know what I mean? Like, it starts out slow, but once it reaches stage 4, it's all terminal, baby. At that point, it's spread all throughout your store. Your store is not a gaming store anymore, and a recreation store anymore. It's a Funko and some gaming on the side store is all I've really come out to realize. Now, I'm not against collecting pointless shit. To be honest with you, back in my day, before the era of Funko, before the corporate hell of Funkos, were Beyblades, okay? Beyblades were the shit. You remember Beyblades as a kid? Alright, they used to be little tops that all had, like, individual characters, okay? You had your, like, Dragoons, you had all your types, and all they were just spinning tops. But it came with an anime where, like, the tops had, like, actual dragons coming out of them and, like, crazy summoned figures. Even as a kid, alright, during the 15 minutes of recess that we had, we actually went out, played with the Beyblades that we bought. You know, we had to actually assemble them together. The bottom section, the top, everything had to be twisted. We had rip cords the size of like 45-inch anal beads. You stick them in, let that shit rip and call it a day. But beyond Beyblades, we had Metabots, alright? Who here remembers Metabots? Because Iroh is sure as fuck do. That stuff was awesome. Zoids? Don't even get me started. Bionicles? Get out of here. If you were Canadian, rescue heroes. But ladies and gentlemen, this is just one of many things. Hell, a lot of them even came with the most amazing media and video games out there. Have you ever played a Beyblade video game? I played the one on Game Boy Advance, and to this day, that is the one Game Boy Advance game I have played in just one goddamn sitting. You know how many Funky Pop video games exist? None. The only time you ever see Funky Pops in a video game is Cuckold Simulator. Yes, that's an actual game on Steam. Yes, tons of playthroughs exist. Yes, you can collect Funky Pops. Yes, they increase your sexual libido. That is what happens in that game. I've never seen a Funky Pop game. There's not been one Funky Pop game. There's not a Funky Pop Fighter. There's not a Funky Pop City Builder. There's not a Funky Pop Dating Sim. There's not even Funky Pop Cooking Mama. In fact, why is Cooking Mama not even a Funky Pop yet? It makes no sense to me. It's just corporate hell that we live in. Now, believe it or not, the Funky Pop market is an expensive place because, like every collectible item, there is a big aftermarket place. I looked at some of the most expensive Funky Pops out there, and, like, if you look at them, some of them are, like, pricey. Like, you got Frankenberry Freddy Funko, which is actually charged somewhere between... Look at this range, by the way. Just look at the range. $725 all the way up to $5,610. I don't know what the range necessarily is. That's a pretty big one. But of course, we get even higher than that. The number one out of this is Alex DeLarge's Clockwork Orange Funko. Now again, all these things look the goddamn same. Sure, they got different hairstyles. Sure, they got some different clothing on. But that same soulless look in the eye never changes. If anything takes over one day out of nowhere, it's going to be the Funky Pops, okay? I'll be honest with you, these things scare me and creep me out as much as Chucky did when I was a kid. But then again, I went through puberty and that shit didn't scare me anymore. I would rather come across Samara from The Ring than Funky Pops at 3 in the morning. And remember, I used to be so scared of Samara from The Ring that when I was a kid, I used to turn the monitor to the wall, okay? Just because I used to believe she would come out of the monitor, but if she did, she would just hit my wall and get brain damage. As a kid, I was thinking outside the box, alright? But regardless how much that movie traumatized me, this freaks me out way more than that. Those soulless, beady eyes always get you. There's something creepy about that shit. But you know what? One thing to understand about the Funko Pop conspiracy is the detrimental effect it's having on mankind. Here's a Reddit post from Am I the Asshole, one of my favorite subreddits ever to exist. If you've never been to ITA, you have to check it out, okay? Literally, almost 99% of that board are some of the worst people posting, trying to get some level of sympathy karma. Am I an asshole for choosing Funko Pops over my wife? Remember, boy... Those soulless, beady eyes ruined a marriage here. I know everyone's going to think this is fake. It is. Let's be honest, it's a troll right here. The only reason I'm reading it is because it's funny. But trust me when I say this is an actual situation I'm going through. Yep, totally real. So, for some explanation, I've been collecting Funko Pops way before I even met my wife. All right, this is like the pre-affair, okay? The wife is the thing that changed it. Buying Funko Pops started off just as a small interest, but quickly became a passion of mine. Since my first time buying a Funko Pop 6 years ago, I stocked up thousands of these figures. These figures are about $12 a pop, by the way, so do the math on that one. So now about my relationship with my wife. 2 years ago, I met my soon-to-be wife. From the very beginning of the relationship, she was well aware of my Funko Pop collection, and was well aware that at the time I was spending a few $100 monthly in order to keep expanding my collection. She was perfectly fine with this, by the way. In fact, she would buy Funko Pops for me for my birthday and for Christmas. However, that's a cheap birthday present, by the way. Holy shit, man. $12 every once in a while for your birthday and Christmas? Whew, sign me up if that's all you need. However, about a week ago, we got into a huge fight over my spending of Funko Pops. Let's see. I will admit, these past few months, I've been dropping about $500 monthly on Funko figures. Alright. $500 on the Funko. Remember, listen. Alright, remember that time in math class you were like, when do I need this algebra? Well, let's solve for X, buckos. For $12 a pop, this dude's buying $500 monthly for Funko Pops. Now, assuming this person's buying, like, from the store, $12, nothing fancy, nothing rare, you know, like, no misprinted ones. That's tens upon tens of Funko figures each month the person is buying. This person, every time they go out to the store, they're handing it away. It's like, give me that Funko. Give me that. They don't make enough unique Funko Pops to fucking justify the $500 monthly, okay? I've done the math. But in my opinion, it was not financially tanking, considering me and my wife have pretty decent jobs. I don't want to state what those jobs are for privacy reasons. Anyway, she was telling me I needed to stop Funko Pop collecting for a long time, or at least cut down my Funko spending to 3 Funko Pops per month. What? Lady, how can he cut down to 3 Funko Pops per month, okay? That's not a compromise. This is like asking a crack addict to literally stop using crack every day to just once a month. You know how much money this person's spending on Funkos? Alright, even if they were spending like hundreds of dollars per Funko, alright, that's still 5 Funkos a month, alright? You can't just cut this person back down to 3. That's an extreme example. In my opinion, that is so ridiculous considering how limited I would be in my choice of Funko. I tried to explain to her how much I enjoy collecting these figures, how much it means to me. She then started yelling that we were going in debt because of the amount of money. So you can't have had a great job if you're actually going into financial debt over the Funko Pop collection. That's where you can tell this is lies. I stated to her how she was completely overreacting and there was no way we could possibly go in debt from this. Dumbass, she's hiding the finances from you. Do you have any idea you're 4 months behind on the mortgage? The house is literally about to foreclose, and we're here out buying Funky Pops, truly ruining the fabric of society. Society. After more screaming, she locked herself in our room, and I had to sleep on the couch that night. Boy, imagine getting into an actual fight over the Funky Pops. I really did not feel bad at all because I knew she was overreacting. When I woke up in the morning, she told me she was going to stay at her sister's house until we could sort things out. I honestly just couldn't believe she was going so far with this. I tried my best to convince her to stay, but again, she kept stating that I needed to stop the Funko collecting for a long time. That isn't an option for me because she is completely overreacting, and it is in no way affecting us financially. Dog, you're in debt. I don't know what to say. A few days go by and I get a call from her. She tells me that I need to choose. Either I stop the Funko Pops or we're getting a divorce. I started telling her how ridiculous she was being because she obviously is being ridiculous. After 2 years, she was just willing to throw away our marriage over my passion. She was pretty much sobbing at this point, and then I finally just told her I'm not going to let her get in the way of my passion. I still haven't gotten the divorce papers, but I'm expecting them soon. So am I the asshole for choosing? Yes, you are. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Funko Pops have ruined the marriage. But I'm going to say that probably wasn't real. I actually am willing to bet my balls that wasn't a real situation. But on the off chance that it was, truly, you can see it's all in those soulless, beady eyes that you found out the evils that these things contain. That said, though, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk about my Funko Pop experience. Every gaming store that I'm going to, it's harder for your boy to find a goddamn Sega Dreamcast. You know, I've been trying to find a Dreamcast for months at this point. You know how many people have a Dreamcast? None. No one. No one's bringing in the Dreamcast. Those are all gone. My hopes of playing GTA 2 on an actual Dreamcast to relive Shenmue. Yes, Shenmue. All right. I would rather actually. You know what? I can find Funko Pops anywhere. But is there any way for me to experience the thrill of doing Forklift Job Simulator for 5 days in a row on original Dreamcast hardware? I don't know. Thank God for emulation. That being said, though, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I found some of the stuff pretty funny, so I wanted to share it with you, and I wanted to share my conspiracy theories with you. Because am I the only one that's going crazy? I don't believe it. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am